lost wages, and personal loss. Mr. Farnsworth will go to trial if you are not offered the fair settlement that you deserve. The law offices of Shane M. Farnsworth, VA, has established itself as one of the leading personal injury law firms in the South Florida area. They give all their personal injury clients a promise. If they don't recover monetary damages in your case, you will not pay any attorney's fees. Shane M. Farnsworth, VA, offers a free consultation to evaluate your legal case. If they take your case, they only get paid if they win. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle crash, slip and fall, workplace accident, or through the negligence of someone else, you need attorney Shane Farnsworth fighting on your side. Call now for a free consultation. That's 561-272-8337. You are listening to the Ask the Expert Show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
And we are here. We're back here. Good afternoon, everybody. We are live. And I make a big point of that because now with the virus, a lot of shows are taped shows, but our shows are live. I'm still a little handicapped. They've got me in a walker after my knee surgery. But guess what? We have on the way to us. Now, I haven't looked at the weather today because I've been so busy. But the last time I saw it, we were right dab in the middle of a cone. They're saying it's a tropical storm. They're not calling it a hurricane, but they have named it. And who else better to have on our show than the top personal injury attorney in the state of Florida? Welcome, Shane Farnsworth.
Hi, Steve. How are you doing today?
Hi, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm tracking the storm like everybody else, waiting to see what happens.
Did you look at it today?
I did. Looks like, as you said, the cone is kind of over the state. It looks like it may shift a little bit east, but we never know. They call it the cone of uncertainty. So really, until you get 24 hours out, you really don't have much of a clue. So.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure that someone's scratching their head going, wait a minute, Shane's a personal injury attorney. What does that have to do with a hurricane? So tell everybody about your practice and if we've got a hurricane coming this way, how you might be able to help people.
Yeah, my firm, we do primarily personal injury cases, but we deal with insurance disputes. And one of the things that occurs in Florida commonly is we have storms, hurricanes, tropical storms that come through and they cause damage to your property. And when that occurs, a lot of times insurance companies, just like in the auto accidents that we discussed, they'll try to save money. They make money by collecting premiums, not paying claims. So they're not always fair with you. So one of the things we do is we get involved in cases where people's property is damaged, their houses are damaged in a hurricane, and we help them to get paid properly. It doesn't even have to be a hurricane like we've talked about. If you had a hot water heater that burst or something like that and caused problems, any damage to your home that the insurance isn't treating you properly, we help with that. And I know we did our show last month when you were doing the surgery with Rhonda related to the hurricanes and the hurricane insurance. But unfortunately, this month has now become, a more prominent issue.
Yeah, Shane, they're saying that we could get another 10 named hurricanes between now.
Got lost. Froze up.
Can you guys see me? Wait, why am I on this side?
Because it's backwards.
Oh.
We lost them.
Why we lose them?
I don't know. It froze up.
Hi everyone, if you can see me.
Go get my phone so I can turn off the ringer for now.
Okay, sure. So no one can see me right now?
I don't know.
Hi,
Steve's the only one that can see you.
I'm Abigail. If you could hear me.
No way.
Mm. What?
I'm on my show.
I guess God is listening to our show today. We're sitting here, we're talking about there's 10 named storms between now and the end of the season. And I don't know if you mentioned it, Shane, before, but you also do like smoke damage, fire damage, somebody breaks into your house.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This time of year, the more prevalent things that get the attention are, the storms. But, you could have all kinds of things happen to your home. You could have a hot water pipe burst or hot water heater. You could, have a flood, all sorts of things that could occur, a fire, like you said. And, those things are covered by homeowners insurance as well. And, if your insurance company is not treating you appropriately, we do handle those type of cases in addition to the personal injury cases, the car accidents, slip and falls, and those matters as well.
Well, I just got 3 texts from listeners, and 2 of them are the same thing. They want to know what is the difference in a public adjuster and what you do.
Well, a public adjuster is not an attorney, so they're not licensed to practice law in the state of Florida. So while they may have knowledge of insurance and how it works, if it comes down to it and the insurance company is not willing to pay the fair value of your claim, they can't file a case and go to court to fight for you. They don't have the ability to do that. They'd have to then go get an attorney to handle that for them, which ultimately takes time and money that is extra as opposed to just dealing with an attorney in the first place.
It's a whole nother step that if a person contacts you, you're the one really gets the insurance company revved up because you're an attorney.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the public adjuster, they have the ability to contact the insurance company and present information and say, hey, we think this is what the claim is worth. But ultimately, if the insurance company says, we don't agree with you, we're not paying that, the public adjuster doesn't have any way to try and
Exactly.
get you that money. They can't file a court case and they can't represent you in a court of law.
Something else too, the way you get paid your fees are a lot different.
Yeah, we use what's called a contingency fee contract. Basically, what it means is if we don't collect any money for you, we don't get paid. Sometimes with insurance claims, the first party claims, we can get attorney's fees from your company as well. But yeah, essentially in the insurance cases, you're not going to come out of pocket. It's a contingency fee. If we collect any money for you, we get a percentage of what we collect. And it's, the amounts we're able to collect is covered by the Florida bar. So regardless of who you hire, it's the same amount. Basically, it works out to prior to filing a lawsuit, it's 33 and a third percent. And after the filing of a lawsuit, it goes up to 40%.
Shane, what is the percentage of clients you see that you have to go to court and litigate?
Well,
Settling out of court.
It's important to understand just because you're litigating a case doesn't always mean you go to trial. Most cases do resolve prior to trial, but a lot of cases you're able to resolve pre-suit as well. But there does come a time when insurance companies, they don't want to pay the true value of a claim, and they really leave you with no alternative. For example, I have a case in Pinellas County that we tried to work with the insurance company and they just weren't willing to work with us, and they really left us no alternative. So now we're in litigation. Does that mean the case can't be resolved later on through the litigation process? It may be, but if not, we're prepared to move forward to get our client, the value of their case rather than, accept what the insurance company thinks they're going to pay. That's not fair to our client.
Well, so this weekend we're supposed to have some major rainstorms, whether we get the winds or not. We're going to get major rainstorms, and when that happens, The first thing is automobile accidents. And I'm telling you, if you're driving on 95, I mean, you ought to just put an office there on 95. I mean, the accidents that have come up on 95 is just like no other highway in the state.
Yeah, well, actually, I do cases throughout the state, and I can tell you I-4, which runs, through Orlando, that's probably as bad or worse than 95. But yeah, Florida has a lot of people. We don't really have much in the way of public transportation in Florida. Everybody kind of drives their own vehicle, which means a lot of traffic. We have a lot of construction, a lot of distracted drivers. There's all kinds of issues, and those tend to lead to accidents. So yeah, especially on the highways, there's a lot of accidents that occur.
And what should somebody do? Because believe it or not, I've heard people who have never been in an automobile accident before. And even if they had, they just kind of blew it off. What should someone do if they're in an automobile accident?
Well, the first thing is make sure you call the police and get a report. It's always unfortunate when people just exchange information and then they find out later on that their version of events is different than the other person's when it comes to involving the insurance companies. So it's best to take that time, call the police, have them come investigate it and give you a report. That's the first thing. The second thing is if you're injured, you need to get medical attention. The sooner you get the medical attention, the better. Two reasons. One, you want to document your injuries and show that they're related to the accident. And two, you want to get better. So and then the other thing is your legal representation. If you're represented by an attorney early on, number one, it provides you with a sense of you know that you're covered and that you have somebody in your corner that knows what they're doing. It also takes you out of the loop as far as dealing with the insurance companies. Once you have an attorney, they're not allowed to speak to you absent permission from your counsel. So, I've had situations, I know we've discussed this before, where people early on in the accident don't hire an attorney and they give a statement to the insurance company, and the statement may not be the questions that they're asked sometimes seem innocuous enough, and then come to find out those questions are designed to sort of submarine your case, and you give a statement that doesn't help you. So the sooner you get the medical attention and representation legally, the better.
Shane, give everybody not only your phone number, but your website address.
Sure. The phone number is 561-272-8337. And you can find us on the web at farnsworthlaw.net.
We're going to go to break. We're talking with personal injury attorney Shane Farnsworth. His office is in Delray, but that doesn't make a difference. We're going to kind of talk about how your business has changed with the virus. We're going to go to break, and we'll be right back with more Shane Farnsworth.
As an experienced personal injury attorney, Shane Farnsworth understands the key to success in your case. You are entitled to compensation for your injuries, medical bills, lost wages, and personal loss. Mr. Farnsworth will go to trial if you are not offered the fair settlement that you deserve. The law offices of Shane M. Farnsworth, VA, has established itself as one of the leading personal injury law firms in the South Florida area. They give all their personal injury clients a promise. If they don't recover monetary damages in your case, you will not pay any attorney's fees. Shane M. Farnsworth, VA, offers a free consultation to evaluate your legal case. If they take your case, they only get paid if they win. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle crash, slip and fall, workplace accident, or through the negligence of someone else, you need attorney Shane Farnsworth fighting on your side. Call now for a free consultation. That's 561-272-8337.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. We're on every Monday and Thursday nights. Drive time 6 to 7. And not only are we on 1470 AM, but we're also on 103.9 FM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 FM. I like listening to the show on 96.9 FM. It's really clear. And if you'd like to watch the show today, you can go to our Facebook, which is Ask the Experts, host Steve O. You can actually watch the show, or you can go to Shane's website, and he's got all the shows there. So, Shane, are you going to be running your business different now? Have you learned anything new that you can do with since now that we have COVID and we have to work out of our houses?
Yeah, well, I'm actually working out of my office still, but yeah, the way that we do things is a bit different. Obviously, when people come in, we're wearing masks and socially distancing, but we try to limit at this point, other than initial consultations, the number of people coming in. So a lot of our stuff is done via Zoom. So we'll set up Zoom meetings with our clients, and that helps us to keep in touch and keep them informed. In addition, the way that most courts are dealing with things at this point is also through Zoom meetings or telephone conferences. You're not allowed to go into the courthouse, so hearings are conducted remotely as well. So, it certainly has changed things a bit. Also, picking up a little bit now, but during the time when things were shut down, obviously there was less traffic, so there, as far as our auto accident business, that seemed to slow down a little bit, starting to tick back up now. But fortunately, we do other stuff as well, the slip and falls and things like that. And we had some of those that kind of tied us through the slow time there. So plus, like I mentioned, we do, primarily our offices in Delray Beach, and we do primarily cases in the Palm Beach County area, but we do cases throughout the state of Florida as well. So.
And I have you gotten any nursing home abuse phone calls with everything you hear
We
going
don't.
on?
Yeah, we don't do those cases. We don't do those are medical malpractice. So generally no. But like I said, we deal with auto accidents, slip and falls, motorcycle accidents, trucking accidents, pedestrians hit by vehicles, all those sorts of things. In addition to, like I said, the property damage. If you have a fire or a flood or the hurricane gets your house.
Folks, don't try to handle this yourself. I'm serious. I've known too many people that have tried thinking they were going to save some money, tried to handle it themselves without hiring an attorney, and they will tell you that they blew it big time. They should have hired an attorney because these insurance companies, and I wanted to say something before because I've talked about this on the show, that a friend of mine actually got a phone call from this was the next day, Shane. I've talked about this before, saying he was his attorney and he could get him $10,000 from the accident. Well, first of all, he didn't even have an attorney. And this guy's already saying he's his attorney and he's negotiated $10,000 for him. I mean, there's some people you got to really watch out there.
Yeah, that's a problem in this business. There's a lot of attorneys. There's a lot of competition, especially for personal injury cases. However, you're not allowed to contact somebody that may be in need of legal services, and by doing that, it's it's against the rules of the Florida bar. It can get you in a lot of trouble. So if somebody calls you up and tells you that, you should get their information, report them to the Florida bar because they're not supposed to be doing that. And the $10,000 they're talking about really isn't. What it is it's your personal injury protection. I know we've talked about that on past shows. Florida being a no-fault state. Yeah, it being a no-fault state, the first $10,000 of your medical bills gets paid out of your PIP coverage. So that's what they're talking about. And every policy in Florida, everybody who has an insurance policy in the state of Florida, you're required to have PIP and property damage. Those are the two coverages you have to have. So what they're telling you really isn't getting you anything. It's something that's on your policy that you paid for and are required to have anyways.
Well, it's funny because in pro sports, I used to be a sports agent, and back when, long time ago, a football player, his first year was guaranteed a minimum, and you would have these agents come in and charge their fees on the whole contract. Well, they're going to get their minimum anyway. I mean, there was no negotiation there. So you've got to be careful. We're going to have some bad weather. I want people to go grab a pencil or a pen. I want you to write Shane's phone number down because, listen, I don't want any of our listeners having an accident, but sometimes you got to worry about the other guy. We're going to have some bad weather this weekend, automobile accidents, and I don't want you to have to go, God, what was that guy's name on Ask the Experts? So let's give everybody your phone number again, Shane.
Sure. The phone number is 561-272-8337, and the website is farnsworthlaw.net.
All right. Now, do you see in the future you're going to be doing a lot more Zoom now with your clients? They don't even have to come in?
Yeah, in addition to it being a necessity right now, it's also fairly convenient, especially in terms of having clients that are located in other parts of the state. Usually you talk to them on the phone, but having Zoom, it's an effective way to be able to see each other face to face. So technology is an important thing. And I know I mentioned in the show last month, I know you were having your surgery when I was talking about hurricanes. And one thing that's important for this weekend, if you have a camera, what you have on your phone, go outside and take video of your house, of your property, because if the storm comes through this weekend and it damages your property, having that before and after video is extremely helpful and make your life easier dealing with the insurance company. And if you need me, it'll make my life easier as well. So I just wanted to remind people in case you didn't hear the show last month or weren't thinking about it. But yeah, get pictures now before the storm comes, because otherwise you may face an issue afterwards where the insurance company says, well, maybe that was pre-existing damage, or we're not going to cover that. And it's very important to have that evidence.
There's something I left out, and it's probably not a big deal to you, but it is a big deal. Shane, I don't know if it's 90, 95%. This is all you do is personal injury. And what I mean by that is you can go to your website, you can go to Google and you see people who are family attorneys, bankruptcy, personal, they got 5 or 6 shingles out there. This is all that you do.
Yeah, this is the primary part of our practice. We do some general civil litigation as well. That helps keep us in court and keep us sharp. But yeah, personal injury is the crux of our practice.
So that means he's even more experienced than a lot of these other attorneys. He can't say it, but I can. Your offices are in Delray. What's going on in Delray? Because with all the restaurants there, does it look a little strange?
It's when you go on the avenue, the restaurants are a little slower. There's not as many people, but sometimes you'll see stuff. You'll see. I went into a restaurant a couple weeks ago to pick something up, and it was probably 85% capacity, and nobody had a mask in a pretty small restaurant, which was a little bit scary. But for the most part, it seems a bit slower, and they're keeping people spread out.
Because it used to be on Atlantic Avenue, especially outside, if the weather was nice. I mean, the places were packed. There's 84 restaurants. I can't believe it. There's 84 restaurants in the Atlantic Avenue area in Delray. And can you tell that traffic is lighter at the restaurants?
Yeah, traffic is definitely lighter. It's not like it would be normally, for sure.
And you can't really go by mask because people can't eat with a mask on. I don't know about you. I'm going to be so glad when this is over with, Shane.
And I think everybody will be.
I know. And then here we are in the middle of everything, and we got a tropical storm coming in the middle of everything. And it's supposed to be a
Yeah.
very busy season, which it actually already has been. But it's supposed to be a very busy season. So it's another reason to keep Shane's phone number by your phone. Because let me tell you something, you never know. It's when you least expect it. And you do not want to deal with these insurance companies by yourself. You want a professional dealing with them so you don't have to worry about it. And someone who's going to get you a lot more than you can get yourself. Is that about right?
Yeah, that about sums it up. So keep my number handy. You have, like I said, obviously a heavy rain event coming. Hopefully your houses stay safe. You don't get in any car wrecks and everybody stays COVID free. But, if you do have an issue, I'm available to help and the consultation is free. So, like we talked about, we use a contingency fee contract. So you're not going to be coming out of pocket to talk to me. So, give us a call.
His name is Shane Farnsworth, attorney Shane Farnsworth. Man, this is just the easiest show to do. Shane's been with us for a couple of years. You got to go check his website out. Not only are all the shows on there, and I owe you a show, which you'll have hopefully tonight, and then this show today, but it's just a great website with great information. I guess you're not going to be going to a ballpark this year, huh?
No, I think definitely that's out this year. Yeah.
I mean, that's like crazy what's happened to the Marlins. 18 players tested positive. They can't even play.
Yeah, it's
And
strange times.
yeah. So anyway, it's so good to see you. Please stay safe. People, give him a call if you're in an automobile accident, slip and fall. Dog bites is another thing. Give Shane a call. He is the best of the best. And he'll be back again next month. And I'll see you on Monday, 6 to 7. Thanks for joining us today for the Ask the Expert show. Have a good weekend. Take care, Shane.
Bye, Steve. Stay safe.
Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program